Welcome to Teen Up, a podcast that digs deeper into the thoughts of teenagers' minds about the wonders of the world.
If you're new here, I am your host, Isabella.
And I'm Glenn. If you're not, welcome back.
Here's a quick disclaimer. If we made any mistakes, please email us and tell us. Thank you.
This week, we're going to Taipei, our home city. We have listed out a few places that we believe create the most authentic and iconic Taipei experience.
Honestly, I feel like Taipei is such a huge place when you actually think about it. And we actually gave some thought to the places that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we live here and we're like really familiar with it. So I think that's why we think it's a big place. It's just like when, I don't know, would you say like New York is a big place when you want to visit it? Like you have a few places to go to, sure, but to get the whole experience, I feel like it's very hard.
Yeah, I feel like as a tourist who is the first time going to New York, I would look online for like the most popular tourist attractions, and I would just go there, like the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, and those type of places. But I don't think that would create the most like authentic New York experience.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about New York today.
Yeah.
So the first one that we want to talk about is Longshan, which is Longshan Temple. So it's a temple.
Yes. And we have plenty of those in Taipei throughout the whole Taiwan, but yes.
A lot. Tons of it. So just pick one. No. I mean, it's a pretty special one, I would say, because it's more iconic. And it's old, like really old. So it's actually pretty easy to go to Longshan Temple.
Because, wait, there's like a MRT station called Longshan Temple, right?
Yeah. And, okay, wait. First of all, I would say, like, I would definitely suggest you to go around Taipei on the MRT.
Yes.
Which is the metro. We call it MRT here. Same. It is super convenient. And if you have the MRT, and then you can ride this bike called U-Bike. And oh my God, I cannot stress how much I love U-Bike.
Yeah, me too.
It is like literally the best thing in Taipei, I have to say. It is so cheap, so convenient. And the bike is actually like easy to ride.
Yes.
I mean, it's better than my own bike.
Yeah. I think like the system Taipei has set for transportation is very well thought out, and people actually enjoy using it. And I think for tourists, it's not even that hard to understand how to use it.
And we have like a simple metro system.
Yeah, so when you come to Taipei, don't rent a car because you'd have to like park it somewhere. And parking is not like the easiest thing to do in Taipei.
But riding a bike is super easy. You can easily find a U-Bike station just around the corner. They are like having more and more stations all the time. And, you know, the bikes come with their own lock. So you're not going to be, like, you don't need to worry about it being stolen.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, if it's raining and you want to go somewhere, it's super easy to just hail a cab.
Oh yeah, that's super easy too. And I also like the bus system in Taipei. It's also not very hard to understand. And a lot of the bus, like, they come very often. Like, you don't have to wait for super long.
Now we kind of deviate to transportation a little bit. We should come back to Longshan Temple.
Yeah.
This temple is like pretty and all that. But I would say like the biggest part of this temple is not the temple itself, it's the food around it. So Longshan Temple is in a place called Wanhua. So there's a night market there. And I would say this one store that you have to go to eat is called Liangxihao.
Okay.
And it's just kind of this store that is like super old. I'm not sure if it's like 100 years old or something like that. The food is actually quite good. I mean, it's not going to be like the absolute best, I would say, but it is quite good. It's good enough, you know? And you get this food there. It's right next to Longshan Temple.
Mm.
And you get a lot of food, you know, in the night at the night market.
And also, this temple is very iconic, and it's like if you really want to look at temples, which is basically everywhere, but I think this has to be one of those that you have to go to, since there's a lot of like history linked to this temple.
And also it's like very well maintained.
Yeah, it was built a long time ago. And wow, 1919. And that was when it was rebuilt.
That's more than 100 years.
Wow.
So, well, definitely give it a visit.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I would say you can go to Taipei main station, which is not that far away. It's like 2 MRT station.
Mm-hmm. And I think at Taipei Main Station, truly, there isn't much to look around unless you're very interested in anime. Okay, so when you go to Taipei Main Station, it's a really huge station. I always get lost.
It's not that hard to get around.
But people are nice. You could ask around.
It's not that hard, okay? Don't be scared of you're scaring off people.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
I think that the thing that we want to talk about is the underground shopping center.
I would more say that it's not like a center. It's like many streets linked together because the whole Taipei main station is super huge and it's just under the station. And within that place, mostly they sell a lot of anime stuff, a lot of toys, a lot of anime action figures. Like if you're into, I don't know any anime characters like on the top of my mind right now.
Okay, me neither. So let's just skip this.
Yeah, but I think this is like a really cool place because you don't see this a lot in like Western countries. It's not, but you could also see this in Japan. Like they have a
Yeah.
lot of these underground shopping places, and I think it's just a really cool thing to see if you've never been.
Yeah, and I think the like most special thing about this is that it connects to another station in Taipei called Zhongshan. And I think like Zhongshan is like a place people go to shop and to hang out. There are a lot of restaurants there.
And a lot of cafes for when you get like tired and stuff. Okay, next spot.
Okay, so next spot we have Huashan Creative Park or Songshan Culture and Creative Park. So to me, these two are similar.
Agreed.
They are both places that hold exhibitions and they have old buildings and they like repurposed it for new things like shops selling handcrafted products or restaurants. And I think for Huashan, it's more special because it used to be like a warehouse. And now I think it's pretty cool that it has a concert, a place for people to hold concerts. And they also have a movie theater there that plays like art film. I also went there for like a music festival.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool there. They make the whole place like a venue.
Oh,
It was pretty fun.
The Huashan Creative Park, I personally like to go there for, like a chill afternoon activity because the exhibitions there are like, I think those exhibitions are really cute. Like they have ones for different cartoons. And I also think that the shops there are really cool. A lot of handcrafted things. And if like you're into artistic like drawing materials or anything like that, I think it's great for you to go there to look for the things that you want. And I think going there and buying things is like a really good way to support college students. I don't know, college students or people in like the artistic realm. And it's just sometimes really cool to see new handcrafted things that you don't see often outside of this place.
Okay, so moving on to the very similar place, Longshan Cultural and Creative Park. It's next to this Taipei Dome, which is being built still after 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite close to get it being done. So I would say maybe you can visit there. I'm not sure because it's not open yet.
Yeah.
And there's also a big building there. Is an S-Lite department store type of thing. And inside the same building, there's also a hotel. So if you want to stay there, you can.
Ooh.
This is also like one of those old buildings being repurposed. It used to be a place that produced cigarettes, I think. And you can also have like cool exhibitions there. There's also a movie theater that plays art house film.
Mm-hmm.
And there are tons of restaurants around it. Like tons. And I would say the reason that you want to go to this over the other one is because it's very close to Taipei 101, which is our next place.
So when you reach like Taipei 101, around there, it's a main shopping area in Taipei.
Mm-hmm.
And like 101 itself also has a shopping place. Also, Taipei 101 itself, it's not just a shopping center, it also a tourist attraction place.
It's a landmark.
Yeah, it is. And like you don't realize how tall it is until like you stand outside of it. Like for reals. Like I know it's tall, right? But I always have a hard time looking for it whenever I'm in that shopping area because it's too close. And normally you would expect it to be like very far away and like very obvious.
And I would say like this area is like downtown Taipei.
Yeah.
Even though we don't really have like a downtown.
Because the whole Taipei is very
spread out. So from the Songshan Creative Park, you can walk there. It's not that far.
Or bike there using U-Bike.
Great system again. And there are a ton of department stores there.
Yeah.
And some are still being built somehow. They're always building something.
Yeah, I know.
And you can actually go up to the Taipei 101 observatory and see the whole city. After the break, we're gonna visit National Palace Museum and more.
Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about National Palace Museum and much more. National Palace Museum, I think it's a very interesting place. So this place has a lot of historical things where you could learn more about the history of Taiwan and its connections with China. And like I went there just like I think less than a year ago, I went there and I really liked the whole experience. So the last time that I went there, I don't know if they changed any exhibitions or anything, but it had
a cabbage.
Oh yeah, a cabbage. Yeah, and a beef? No, pork.
Yeah, pork. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, I know. But it's actually very cool because it's like a pork made of rocks.
And it's actually really beautiful when you look at it up close. Like, yeah, besides those stones, they do have like old plates that people used to use or the clothes people used to wear. And they also had calligraphy writings.
It's basically like old Chinese artifacts.
Yeah, I think like I personally don't really think back to like how my culture is like where it's rooted and whatever, but like going to this museum like made me feel more in touch with the past of the people. I don't know. But yeah, it's a really cool place to go to.
I think they have this very special glassware china. They have this special china. It's called ruware in English and ruyao in Chinese. And I think when I was there was like a tour going on. And the tour, the guide, those are like people in the museum that work for the museum. They were saying like the Americans offered us to like pay for the building, like the National Palace Museum. Like they wanted to like pay to build this building in exchange for like one or two of these ware. And like building that building is like millions of dollars. But these are like worth more because they are like less than 100 pieces left in the world.
And it's made like a long, long time ago.
Yeah, and they have this very special color, turquoise type of color. So how expensive this one is? It's basically so the last time it sold at an auction, sold for 40 million for one piece.
Wow, crazy.
So according to the internet, there are only 65 known pieces left in the world, and there are 21 in Taipei. So that's probably something you should visit, isn't it? Just kidding.
And it's not like the tickets are not expensive. Yeah, you should totally go visit. And I liked my experience over there. And the guides there really do explain things really clearly. So you should totally go.
Yeah, it is definitely a very special place, I would say. Definitely worth a visit. Okay, so after praising our amazing museum, the next stop we have is Pingxi or Danshui. I mean, they are both further away from the city center.
But I personally, I like Danshui is easier to get to because there's a MRT station that is literally called Danshui. And so I think that's like easier for tourists to go. But if you want to like explore more of like northern Taiwan, you could try riding the train where it could take you to Pingxi. And at Pingxi, you could set off sky lanterns where you could, write your wishes on the lanterns and light it up with a fire and let it fly in the air, like at night.
Yeah, I would say that that's definitely a very special experience. And it's a very pretty place overall. But Danshui, you can ride a bike there, and it's very nice in the afternoon. It has a beautiful sunset.
Yes, for sure. And both of these places have like a lot of food as well.
And for Danshui, it has this old fort called San Domingo, and it is a old fort built by the Spanish when they were occupying Taiwan. So that's pretty cool.
And you could also visit while you're around Pingxi is 九份老街, which is just another place that has a lot of historical things. All the buildings are quite old, and you could really see like a lot of cultural things around that place.
And it's super pretty, like if the weather's right, because it's like basically built on a mountain, and it like follows the mountain, all the buildings, and when you like look from the right angle, it's just very pretty.
And a lot of people wait for the sunset. Yeah.
So after the sunset, we have to go to the night market.
Exactly.
And the one that we recommend is
Ningxia Night Market. Ningxia Night Market is also located really close to a MRT station.
It's super easy to get to.
Yeah, and this night market isn't necessarily the ones that are recommended to tourists because a lot of people would say go to Shiling Night Market.
But just between you and me, stuff at Shiling Night Market, super expensive.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say they have the most authentic food. They do have a lot of games and a lot of like fun things tourists would love because, the night market is really a special thing in Taiwan here.
And there's also a cool building called Taipei Performing Arts Center there. That was just finished like this year. And it's a super, super, super cool building. But I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. So therefore we recommend Ningxia Yeshi. I really like the food over there when like my family we would sometimes get food over there. I mean, I wouldn't suggest eating night market food every single day, but if like you're really looking for not a super expensive price and just fulfilling food, and I think this is a night market for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no games at this night market, and I think that makes it like less messy and less noisy.
Yeah, but also like it is a part of the night market experience if you really want to like experience.
Yeah.
You can go to other night markets. There are a number of night markets in Taipei. So if you want to visit, you can just pick one. You don't really need to go to every one of them.
Yeah.
So that's about it for our 4-part trip in Taiwan. And if you're actually visiting Taiwan and wants to know more about it, you can look on the internet. It's not that hard to find information.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can email us.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode.
We will upload a new episode every Thursday.
Remember to like, follow, and share our podcasts with your friends and family. You could also share your idea and thoughts with us on our Instagram at teenup.podcast.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel.
Thank you and bye.